in the first half. Was there some reluctance to go to it, or was it just because you wanted to stick with what you normally do? Or if you talk me through that decision and kind of where you think the game went from that point.
Actually, I think the biggest thing with us is we've, through the whole year, we've did a lot of change up defensively. So, this group knows me and this staff, and I'm pretty much not reluctant to do anything with this group because we practice a lot of different things. One thing we try to do is make that, we're very comfortable in our 13 defense, which is our 1-3-1, but they were making big shots on us, so we had to switch up. But, as a coach, that's what you do. You got to prepare for the different things that are going to be thrown at you, and we try to put them in those situations in practice. So I was just proud of our group. I knew that we were going to continue to keep grinding and keep playing. It's just like we just said, I was just hoping that we could get our hands up and challenge some more shots and that they wouldn't shoot 60% again from the three in the second half.
With respect to what they did, it was one person shooting, from
Definitely.
From outside.
And, she was shooting from 22, 24 feet. So, she's an unbelievable player, and we know that. And, that's what we talked to them about, to make sure that we could try to get our hands up, and that's why we did the switching on the defense and try to change up and keep them on their toes.
Additional questions?
Coach, just your thought on moving on to Friday, how to get this one to go any further?
Well, again, we're going to sit and get back and get prepared, and as Chastity said, it's going to be a good ball game, this next ball game. So it's going to depend on who comes out, and what we're going to do is going to try to focus on us and what we got to get better at, making sure we execute it. I think we haven't seen the stat sheet, but we didn't turn it over. We took care of the ball a little bit. We rebounded, but we got to guard. And that's one of the things that I know we're going to have to come out and focus on. So that's what we'll be practicing.
Lucas Allback, WKU Herald. Chastity Gooch had 21 and 14. Do you think you're going to need games like that from her for the rest of the week if you're going to come home with a championship?
We've needed it all year. She's put this team on her back, and that's what she does. And she just plays so hard, and her teammates have a ton of confidence in her. But Chastity had 21 and 14. But I'm gonna tell you something. This was a huge team win. We had a lot of people step up. A lot of people make big shots. Chanel Lockhart, at the end of the first half, we made 3 big threes by Chanel Lockhart, Ileana Johnson, and different people. So this was a team win. Chastity does what Chastity does. She normally averages a double-double for us. So we depend on her to do that. But we also talked about how everybody else was going to have to step up, and they did.
Any additional questions? Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Just impressed the way our team played, the Cajun way. We defended as best we could. They just out-rebound us, and we played a really good Western Kentucky team. I was excited for our kids to have this opportunity to bring them to the, I think they took the lead with a minute 24 left. So I thought our kids played hard. We fell short a little bit, but it's got everybody coming back. So we're excited about what we're trying to do, one step at a time in Lafayette. So to me, it's just a Cajun way. I love my kids and how hard they played, and I thought our game plan worked really good. I always say we fell a little short, and we are a little short, so that's kind of part of it. But great effort by our kids, love them to death, and we're ready to get back to work tomorrow.
This time we'll open it to questions right now just for Silvana. Any questions for our student athlete? Back in the middle.
Travis Webb, KATC. Silvana, for you, what was working for you early? Was there something you saw in scouting that the three-point shot would work? And just for you mentally, what was going on?
I was excited to get back at it. We were on a 5-game losing streak against them, and we all felt as a team that I was ready to take it from them. And and we changed it up a little bit. I was playing at the top of the offense, running the 2-on-2. They stuck me in the corner now, so I knew it was time for me to shoot, and I had to make shots. And without Kia and Jalen and everyone being able to pass the ball, it wouldn't have worked. And everyone was a team effort in general.
Any further questions? Up here in the front right.
Hi, Gary Esser from the Baton Rouge New Orleans Advocate. You talked about the first half. What was different about the second half, or maybe even you might say late in the first half when you started to get a little more extra attention, or at least I should say their defensive strategy kind of changed?
I just think we didn't, we did lose it on the offensive side. We had a couple of turnovers and unforced turnovers, and I think that just hurt us a little bit, but we fought through it, and I think our defensive rebounding for us kind of hurt us a little bit. It was we weren't boxing out enough, and they were just going over us and making layups. And I think that was the difference in the first half. We kept pushing them out of the box. We kept working hard, not letting them get rebounds. We held Gooch to 6, and in the second half we kind of lost that edge a little bit during it, which hurt us.
One more question back in the middle.
So, Silvana, for the girls, just how frustrating is it when you have Gaines and Gooch? It just seems like those the second chance putbacks were just really frustrating because it was just right underneath the grasp of, as Coach mentioned, just shorter players.
No, we talked about in the locker room. It's just effort and heart, and I think if we would have just dug a little bit deeper, we might have been able to push her under the basket, so at least she wouldn't get the rebound. And I just think we had a couple hurt players that were struggling, so I feel like if we just were all there and had the same mentality that we had to box Gooch out and the rest of the players, because they went big on us. They put 3 huge players in, and I think maybe that kind of put us in a little setback, but we still should have boxed out, and we didn't as hard as we should have.
I know it's kind of hard to think about now, but kind of as Coach said, getting ready for next year, just as he mentioned, with everyone back, coming close this year, just how excited are you personally, just having the whole team and kind of what this progress has been since your freshman year with Coach and now entering what will be your 3rd year?
I'm excited. We're not losing anybody at all. We have 3 or 4 great incoming freshmen coming in, and the freshmen from the beginning of the season till now have just improved so much. And I think that starting next year, you're gonna have 5 sophomores, 5 or 6 juniors, and 1 senior. I just think we're gonna dominate the conference nonstop. Western Kentucky's out now, and this is our conference. I think we're gonna run through it if we keep our heads straight.
I know this is probably a better question to ask you next week or the following week, but I'm kind of here asking you anyway, unfortunately. When you look at your game, where it's at now and where you think it needs to be next season, what's at the top of your list? What's something you want to improve at? And maybe this game is, we'll pull an example out. Maybe it's previous games that got you to this point.
I think defensively is my main focus for the next incoming year. I just need to keep the ball at the middle, and that's Coach's biggest thing is defense. And if I want to stay on the court, I got to play defense, and just gonna help the team out in general. I don't want to be the weak link. I want to be in the game at the end. I don't want to have to keep getting switched out. So that's gonna be my main focus: getting in better shape and being able to just do what they ask and knock down shots when they need them.
We have time for one more for Silvana if there is another question. If not, okay, everyone's all set. Thank you very much, Silvana. You can make your way back to the locker room now. And we'll now open up the questions for Coach Broadhead. Any questions for the UL Lafayette head coach? Going back to Travis in the middle.
Coach, kind of just as I asked Silvana, it seemed like everything was working right except just your lack of height today.
Yeah, I thought we played really well. I thought the second half we quit attacking. And a lot of that's my fault. We set up in a different line. We set them up in a different offense, and for some reason, Kia Wilridge and Jalen Gordon, we were walking the ball across half, and we were picking the ball up, and we were putting ourselves in position where we could be trapped. And all. In the first half, we didn't do that at all, and so I'll take blame for that. I thought if we would have kept on attacking, I thought that would have helped us to kind of get through those runs and stuff. And we missed a few shots because we took some bad shots, and then just kind of got out our offense. And that's most of the turnovers happened the second half. I don't think it was so much the defense as, just us not attacking. We tacked and attacked, and that's why just kind of when you're small and you're playing small ball, you got to be a little bit more aggressive. And I thought we were not as aggressive. I thought we started to get a little bit tired. Some of the kids played 37, 38, 39 minutes, a lot of minutes to play, and just kind of ran out of gas.
Is that kind of encapsulates the season for you guys of just not having enough? Things just not kind of going your way in the end?
Yeah, just think about it. Our best player is not playing right now. She hadn't played in 13 to 14 games, and why are we in against Western Kentucky, the number 2 seed, without our best player? And then with our best post player has been out for 3 weeks. And then, it's difficult to realize. If you'd have told me that we would be where we are now without those players, I'd have said you were crazy. But by our kids playing so hard and believing in what we're doing, and it's about defense. I don't care what the NCAA wants to do about calling fouls and all that. it's still going to be about you're going to win with defense. And I hope it stays that way, you know. So
Moving up here to the front right.
Coach, you mentioned your intensity, but if you'll agree, I think Western Kentucky's style of play also kind of changed when Savannah started to get a lot of attention after making those big shots. I think it was 15 points in the first half. How did that affect the game where all of a sudden there was always a player there, a hand in her face, where she did not see that as much in that first half? I don't know if that was more something you guys were doing or what they weren't doing.
no, I thought they were doing a pretty good job the first half, but we were able to run off of screens and stuff. It's hard to notice when we're in that 1-4 high set how we're actually passing the post, and it's not a post action. It's really something the normal eye is not going to see it, but we're running screens away while Silk is coming or Savannah's coming. And we were doing the same thing, but I just think our guards, and if they're going to guard Silk, that's great. We'll play 4-on-4. That's awesome. We didn't take it to them. The first half, how many layups we got where we run that horn series and we're coming off of screens and layup after layup, and then because they were shading towards Savannah. And then the second half, we just quit doing it, And I know they had a little something. They brought their defense a little bit higher, but it doesn't really make a difference because it was in the same set, So, yeah, I thought they paid more attention. They were really trying to. I know that because we played them 5 times. They were really paying a lot of attention at the beginning of the game. But I thought our game plan. I was watching the other coaches. She was very frustrated that she got loose. I saw her take 2 or 3 kids out that were guarding Savannah, but we were doing some good things. And I thought just not being aggressive. Brooke and Arsenault was very aggressive the first half and all that. And we just, sometimes when you don't get those little tippy fouls, you tend to start shooting the ball out instead of attacking. I attribute that to that. It's just human nature.
Thank you.
And back to the middle bat.
Finally, just for me, just Coach, for you, I know it's been a progress, from year 1 to year 2, and I know it's been turnaround, younger players. Just evaluate overall this season. I know injuries didn't go your way, but you have to be satisfied with where the program is right now and what is ahead.
Yeah, when you come into a program that when we came in, it wasn't about building, and it was about tearing it down. And I talk a lot about that with our kids. It's tearing down what we had. And I'm really, really, and when you recruit, you don't really know what you're going to get until you start working them. But I tell you what, I think we did an awesome job of recruiting the kid that's going to work hard. I like the kid. They come in every day. We having a lot of injuries, and maybe I'm working them too hard. But they never back down. So I think we're pointing in the right direction. The classroom's extremely important to me. Not just everybody's playing to win. I'm not playing. I'm playing to win in life for our kids. I know a lot of people preach that, but I had 2 daughters that played Division I basketball. My job and my mission is to make sure that these kids are coming as student athletes and stuff. And so I think we got a good core now. I really do. If we can stay healthy, it's going to be an important thing that we stay healthy and just getting everybody else. I know in our locker room we got all from the coaches to the players believing in what we're doing and moving. I had Coach Barrier from Arkansas State said, you're not taking small steps, Coach. You took some giant steps this year, and I believe that. I really, truly believe that we're moving in the right direction. We just need the community to, it's not for me, but it's for our kids. But the more support you see from the community, the more it's going to be easier for them to work. I think it's going to take a championship before everybody else is going to believe in it. We'll get that. I really believe that. We're going to work hard. We're going to continue to get the right kind of kids in. And with your help, there's no doubt, without the media, we cannot move forward. We need identity in Lafayette. We need some identity. And that's one thing that we haven't had. We're going to work hard to get an identity for women's basketball at UL Lafayette. And, we really appreciate what y'all do and all the media, man. I've been doing this for 30 years. You do not realize how important you are to the kids. It means a lot to them, and I want to thank y'all.
Any further questions? Thank you very much, Coach.
Thanks, man. Appreciate y'all.